defeated being. Take me by the answers that I need. Seeing through the certainty to only find I'm influenced by the mind. I'll take out my own seed just to place it in your dream. Now you might find no way to hide if you're just trying to survive. But yeah, seeded being, take the answers that I need, place it out in the scene. What I remember of my days, now I think it can't just be the beat that makes me think I'm seizing this game because I can't be played. Now I think it's not my place, but still I'll see. One day I've hid from the sun, and he showed me there's a gun. Now I think about it every day, and I walk out just the same. But they say, seeded fiend, show me the answers that I need, and I'll take it away by the challenge that you believe. Till you think about me, then I know it's not the way that you make me see. I can't stay here tonight, I can't even find out why that my name can't be believed until the days that you can seize. Cause I can't believe that I'm still being sent from the sides, and I find in the mind that it's a seeded fiend, and it's just the answers that I need to show myself in time. I'll challenge all such things as the ministries come to take my seat, to show me the stream that no one couldn't beat. Cause yeah, it's seeded fiend, show me the answers that I need. I'll be there to see the fiend, and one day you wake me up and say, hey mate, are you still there? And is it okay to show you a shape that no one could say? Cause it's not ours to take, and no one could thank us for the belief that we made. Cause we're still there where we're at today, and we found out there's no mysteries that anyone could take. Cause it's just the way that you make. It's the seeded fiend, show me the answers that I need. It's the seeded fiend, show me the dances behind the scene. And you gotta know, it's the seeded fiend, just take me by the old and make me in the place. For I know it's true, it's the seeded fiend, and there's no way. Okay. So I might find that it's just a seeded thing, but no one can make me believe that I've never seen anything be made. But still these days, I haven't believed in such a thing, to be set free from the place we've seen. Now these days aren't the same, for I can't think of myself to not be pleasantly placed. And so I reckon that I could save this day, just because this day could be made. But believing in this such thing, then what am I trying to make? Is it just that I want to save this day that I've been living? This parade of worship and praise? This yes, I can rob from the shops. Yes, I can get away with stealing. Yes, I am the sun. Yes, I'm a demon warrior, a prince of gods, a mysterious magical creator. You know, I just want to save that day because I don't want to change. I don't want to go back to just doing a normal 9 to 5 life. You know, where I'm just taking 9 to 5 beats every day of the meets. And I think about it, and isn't that what I'm actually trying to save? You know, I saved the planet. You know, yet the planet, yet the big plan that I had, I actually saved in the end. But my actual plan was to get off the drugs. But first I knew I couldn't go straight back to work because I was bloody tired. Yeah. So I knew there's no need to go straight back to work, and everyone was concerned about me. So I said, all right, I'll get on Centrelink then and survive on that for 6 months. Because I know I can't work in the city because I always fall asleep when I'm driving up there. And soon they're starting the forum job for form work and concreting, and also the bridge in Mandurah. So I thought, yeah, for 6 months I'll do that, and then I'll get a job at the forum there. And no crap, I ended up going to the mental ward in February. Came out where I had a 6 month disabled like concession thing from Centrelink. Got on Centrelink just after I got out of the mental ward. And then after the 6 months, I started a job at the forum. I was on heaps of medicine. And when I first got out of hospital, I was sleeping 24 hours a day, waking up at night, and eating a sandwich and going back to bed. I'd only cook a meal if my mate came around, because I'd cook him a feed as well. And then I'd get on the gear. As soon as he passed out on the couch, it was pretty much straight after dinner, I'd go back to my bed and fall asleep. So I felt like I needed the gear just so I was eating properly. And they put me back onto the gear in a way. Yeah. And then I got the job at the forum and I started working there, where I was then using less than what I was using prior to going to hospital. But I was now weak at work because I was sleeping that much and the medicines I had me on. I could no longer lift the timbers that I used to carry two of. I could only carry one, and I needed the other tradie to help me carry it. Yep. Then after about 4 or 5 weeks there, I was working over here by myself, and right near the offices I was working, all the boys were working over here. The boss came out, the supervisor came out and said to me, "That's it, mate." And I went, "Okay, no worries, mate." So I walked out, and it was about 4:30, and we usually locked up at 5. And I went home and went, shit, he's fired me, you know, he set me on my way because I'm weak and not pulling my weight sort of thing. And the next day I was in bed, I slept in obviously, and I got a call from the recruitment company that employed me. He said, the boss rang up and said, "You're not at work today." He said that was it yesterday. I thought he meant that I was fired. And I said, okay. Then they didn't call him back to ring me back saying, no, you're still employed. So he must have gone, yeah, he's actually not even that good, so don't worry about it, you know. Yeah. So then I didn't keep my job. And I think about, was I trying to say this reality of me coming out and purchasing myself online and worship and praise and being insane? Or was I trying to say that my plan didn't work at the forum? So now this is all that I have, which is what I was doing beforehand. Yeah. And in about 2017, it was 2016 when I got the job at the forum. In 2017, I was seeing a holistic counsellor. And she said, "Look, don't just make an overnight plan. Don't just quit today. Make like a 5-year plan." So I said, "All right, sweet. I'll make a 5-year plan, but I quit right now." And I didn't say that to her, but I said, "I quit right now. So I've already quit the drugs, but in 5 years, I won't be taking them anymore." Yeah. And then at the end of 2017, I actually quit. Bang, they sent me to the mental ward. I got my superannuation hardship payment. And the day before I got out, someone that I've never got drugs off messaged me. Said, "Hey mate, I see you in hospital, you're doing okay?" And I said, "Yeah mate, thanks for that mate." And he said, "I've got some stuff if you want it when you get out." And I was, "Oh, great, you know." So I came straight out and blew all that money pretty much within a few months. Yeah, within 2 months, yeah. And then 2018, 19, slowly made moves to try to quit again. But something always jumped in, like either going back to hospital, going to rehab, and every night they were saying, "Do you want some ice cream?" I was like, "Oh yeah, mate, aren't they meant to be training out of my mind not to take ice anymore?" But I'm hearing ice cream every night. So my mind's just going ice. Yeah. And then one day at the counselling meeting there, when we were drawing pictures, you'd have to draw a picture. She said, "Draw something that you're seeing today." And she herself drew the sun. But when she wrote the word for the sun, she spelled it S-O-N. And she said it out loud. I drew the sun, but it's funny because when I wrote the S, I went S-O-N instead of S-U-N. I went, "Oh shit, they've all been watching me and know that I'm the bloody sun." I don't even told the world that I'm actually sun yet, you know. I just said, "Hi, God, here to help," and started talking religiously. Yeah. Then I got in my head, they're all bloody against me. They're going to make fun of me the whole time that I'm here for 18 months. So within the next 4 days, I left there. And so 2017 made that plan. 2022, I should have been off. And my mum said to me, "Have a good day." And she went to work. And I think she allowed me to steal a little bit of branching from her. But I went too far, and then my dad died. I went missing and went back to hospital. I got really deep down and depressed, and have been on it for a further 2 years. But the year after my dad died, I met up with Adrian. And Adrian said, "1 more year of fear, mate, And fear is what I named the gear, you know. I called it fear one day to a mate. And he said, yep, 12 more months. And I've been honest to him in counselling, you know, he thought he fixed it easy, you know. Just change the pattern, change the sequence, change the routine, bring the diet up and all that fooding stuff, you know. A few activities, bit of movement. But when I was honest about it, that I get the feeling in my stomach and stuff like that. So now he's got the guiding angel in the job, taking all that feeling out of my stomach, you know, working in my brain, but working in my feet and rerouting the digestive system, bringing nutrients back in my body to have more strength. Now I've got support working, actually got a house to live in. They're taking me down to the voluntary work community actors here to hopefully get me a bit of work. And so it looks like I'll get there still. And I know that I will find my way. But at the same time, it's like, what did I really try to say? Was it my plan that failed? Or that my intention on that day where I said, yep, that's it, I'm off the drugs. But I know I can't go back to work straight away, so I'll get on Centrelink. And when I said that, I seen myself come up here. And like, boom, plant the seed in me. And it's like, that's the moment I made the dream to get off the drugs and go back to work after being on Centrelink for a while. Then that plan progressed in seeing the holistic counsellor, going to rehab, going to the mental ward, and getting through it. And there's always interventions, because there always will be. But it's showing the strength within yourself. Like the name caliber. Yeah. So my name's Travis, but they changed my name to Sata. I changed my name to Sata, because Sata is someone walking out from the place he's been and from the place he's bent and consoling in his demons to find the way that he can be and beat that demon he shall and become healed and cleansed and find himself in a new frame. There's always going to be interventions coming at Sata to see if he's worth the strength of what he made. You know, because he said to nature, that's it, I want out of here. So nature changed his name from being boss. From being Travis to Sata. Because he wasn't fitting in as the boss. When people were assigning, oh, what's happened to the boss? You know, he's gone a bit under weather. Right. So nature said, I've got to change that plan now to show him in the end that he'll still come back to being Travis. But along the way, he's got to fit in to find in his feeding what the schedule might be maintained as. And still these days aren't the perfect way to make a plan to be saved or a plan to be known. And they say, you know, you don't judge the ball before it's gone in. You know, you can hit the post, the goalkeeper can save it, birds can bloody fly into it, or a defender can knock it out the way, or another attacker can come and like put a foot onto it and it goes off the course. It's not even your goal in the end. So at that time, I'm saying these days, it seems like I've made myself aware that I shouldn't be telling the world what I'm doing. But at the same time, I've already known that I kicked that goal because I'm talking of tomorrow. I'm not talking about where I am today. And so when I make that for tomorrow, then I know that goal has already been worked on. And it's been received within me because I've seen the signs and the weights that I can make. And for every intervention that came to keep me on the drugs, I knew eventually they'd only work on themselves to make their own belief that no one gets out from it, bruh. Once you're on, you're on. I know that's just them stabilising their own grounding because that's the belief that they take. Yeah. But if I find in my own revealing that it can be done, then would they say, we cheer for you, brother, and stop intervening? Or they say, brother, if you want to get off the drugs and clearly out of that business and out of that season, then we'll support you the whole way through. You know, we'll make you through it yourself. And if it works out for you, then that's great news. Because it gives us the noticing of what we can make for other trackers who are going through it. That's right, and at the same time, we can't make out of ourselves unless ourselves can't be made to be taking anything. And as we look to the seasons, then we can't feather ourselves unless we're further out from the business the one makes to believe in. So the boss Travis, but that's it, I'm done with drugs, it's not good. That means he's the boss who says for everyone that we're out of drugs. No, because there's other Travises that are boss. No, they want to be the boss, because if Travis decides, then that's every Travis out there that's the boss will decide the same thing. Otherwise, they're a boss, leader, and controller. Right. So all those boss leaders and controllers say, yeah, there's no way out, you know? But yeah, you can always say no. And so was it that I'm not saving this way? Or is it that the day that I wish to save, well, it's unknown to me yet because I haven't been cleaned? Now, when I become once again as Travis, if that's what nature has unveiling for me, then maybe I'll be the boss of something that I've never seen to be created yet. Or maybe he'll make me something different afterwards. He might name me a maid, which is saying it's not made anymore. It was chased and it changed to change. You know, it was looking at being made, but now it's changed it to something other than itself being. Might be reported, it might be counsellor, it might be prison feeder, might be washer, it might be cleaner, it might be cooker. It might just be simply that no one can make out of themselves, that no one hasn't seen themselves. Because nature itself wouldn't be itself if it hadn't made out of itself what itself wouldn't be made as. Yeah, that's where it's getting a bit touchy. It is, mate, honestly, it's getting a bit touchy. Little bit confusing. Yeah, it is at the same time. And over the last few months and years, within the moon calendar cycles of eons, we find out that when we first were playing with each other, it was all like cute and girly and sound, you know. Then we started like, oh, bam, what'd you do that for, brother? You know, shouldn't have done that, brother. Like, yeah, don't do that, brother, you know. And then eventually we went, bam, you arsehole, shouldn't have done that. And then eventually we got into the grove. You know, people are like, brother, are you telling me that those ducks aren't sitting down there for their feeding? And the brother responded, those ducks, mate, ain't we them ducks? No, brother, those ducks down there that you're feeding. No, brother, he said, ain't we meant to be feeding them? And they started playing mental games, you know. Then drugs come into it, and it winds right up, you know. Because when you're on drugs, it's like, oh, fuck yeah. I can get to the moon like in 2 seconds. You know, I can boom, 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 boom. So it becomes way more of a rapid explosion and a cleaner scene. But it makes so much more instability and grounding. You know, when those little, brother, you shouldn't have done that. You know, now that we're on drugs, it becomes like, oh, I'm going to get this bloke somehow, you know. Like, I'm going to bloody, you come up with a massive theory in your head. Because that's what drugs do. It consoles you with your demons. And presents forth in your head like, and you work the plan out with people. And like, you convince yourself that, yeah, that's what's going on. And you're not even actually telling the other person that this is what you want to do. But then you're like, yeah, oh, that's great. Yep, that's good. I might be able to use that actually, you know. And you're like, barreling it right up. You don't actually know this, son. You don't actually know this, son. No, well, that's my demon I'm struggling with because I stole from the shops and stole from a few people. So I think eventually what they're going to do just before Christmas this year is take me to court and lock me straight in jail. Because they're building up enough times that I've done it. And once it weighs up, the cops will just say, yeah, well, we're going to come before that. You know? They'll lock me up just in time for my actual birthday. But that's when I realised I'll miss your guys' birthday because Jesus Christ is you guys. It's not actually me. And Jesus Christ ain't my name, at the same time it can't be made. And if Jesus Christ wasn't my name, stop doing it to me, Jesus. I'm sick of it. Jesus Christ was your name, Jesus. Stop pointing to yourself. Where are you, mate? Where are you, Jesus? Where am I meant to point to? Well, it's rude to point. But that's what I mean. I'm not actually pointing at you, Jesus. Now I'm just saying, I know it's you, Jesus. Don't be rude, mate. I'm allowed to be rude, mate. I'm your bloody son. You know, you never made me read the Bible as a young child. You called me your son and then didn't even give me a proper Bible to read. Went to religious schooling and they didn't even open the Bible once at school. You know, all I was there basically was with mum every day. Going, this is what dad gets up to, hey mum at work? Mum's going, yeah, that's exactly what dad's doing, you know. Then now I've met you, Jesus, and I'm trying to tell the world what it is. And here you're going, no son, you've got it wrong all the time, don't be rude and stuff, you know. But where were you at the early days of my childhood, Jesus? Where were you back then? Don't you even answer that question yourself again, mate. You were preparing the way, weren't you, mate, for me to be seen. I know it's true, Jesus. You yourself are rude sometimes. And out of yourself you make me predicted to be catering to the needs of society. And I've witnessed myself to be seasoned. But sometimes you make me anxious. And yet I talk like little Amy. Now, yes, daddy, yes, daddy, yes, daddy, yes, daddy. And at the same time I'm preventing things from happening to you. So I think you forget, Jesus, that your after the storm was never priority. And I became witnessing you yourself, be raised into dimension, before the seat could be taken. So you, the light that is the life, to shield itself from all witnessing actions. And no one could ever actually see you, Jesus, because all that they reveal is themselves as superior or superiority, as they anchor down a feat in psychological archetypes and become, yes, I nurtured that these days. You know, that garden's growing. Not only that, I can now nurture and help other people in that. And then bang, they become like a hero. Man, your garden's dying, man. You know, here's some weed killer, you know. This is stuff I use, it's bloody the best. And then they're like a hero, you know. And then they become even to like a builder level. They start building planter boxes and thinking about selling them and stuff. But then they master the planter boxes and the mate comes around and says, oh, you got a few of them there. Yeah, do you want one? Yeah. And they don't actually sell it. They're like, yep, that's done. You know, I've got rid of one of them. Then they go on to thinking about, oh, what could I do? Like a secret garden. Like magical sort of stuff, you know? And then they're going, I could plant seeds in my own head. What, like selling those planter boxes? Oh, yeah, but my mate, you know, he could go around selling them for me. And that's when it gets a bit tricky at the same time that, oh, shit. So then we just see ourselves to be doing all that stuff, but Jesus is the one there saying, nurture time, hero time. Yeah, you're not right being a hero, you're undermined. Shit. Yeah. So you're a bit rude actually yourself, Jesus, to convince yourself that you can't be seen. Because I've clearly seen you, Jesus. You know, and the world might just see me here being angry at myself. But I know it's you here with me, Jesus. And I know you're in them at the same time, Jesus. Deciding for them what they take with me to be seasoned within you. And at the same time, you're anchoring it perfectly in line. So that one day they'll just go all at the same time, holy shit, that's actually Jesus and Trav. Jesus and the Holy Bloody Spirit, mate. The Holy Spirit that convinced Jesus to be careful. So that he could never leave a scent behind. So people just came to accomplish the task at their own feet on their own. Yep, I've nurtured that. Yep, yes, I made those plants. Yeah, I got rid of one. Yeah, I can be moved on now, you know. And yep. Then they get to the magician stage and they're planting seeds everywhere. Then they go, oh shit, what do I do afterwards? You know? Then they go back to the builder. Builder, I think I damaged his head. But the builder made the planter boxes, you know. Then they go, oh shit, who's going to fix all that up? And that's when they realise, well, there's only really one magician at the end of the day that can plant seeds carefully. And the magician one of like planting seeds and doing such things like that. It's really the same as nurturing, you know. Put the seed in the soil, water it down, and leave it in a warm spot. And make out of yourself that no one can be seen, without witnesses not taking themselves to be real. Ah, bloody hell, kids. Looks like it is the gun and the hoe taker. Yeah, maybe. So you couldn't see it, Jesus. What, that the boss was always going to check in one day? What do you mean? I was watching everything. Till the day that I needed to be here. And what was the point of me accompanying you along the way? How were you accompanying along the way? Oh, that nurturer there needs to be taken away from what he's nurturing. Shine Jesus into this model, who comes into traffic mode and makes him realise, oh yep, no need to nurture that at the moment, something's more important. Oh shit, I'm crap at nurturing, time to move on to like the magical level. I learned a bit of like, you know, throw the grass up when you're about to kick the ball. Lift it up in the stadium, you know, bring the love into it, then run up and bloody trip over, you know, just to give them all a laugh in there. And that might be the magic level that we assert to be needing. But at the same time, now he takes that back to the nurturing level. And now he looks at that grass. It's actually a bit long to the grasskeeper. That wind. Bit chilled for my liking. I couldn't be playing on this day. I might get a season chill. Might get a bit of a sickness. The crowd themselves, you know, it's a bit cold out here. Oh, shit. Then he goes back and he finds himself, oh, yeah, that's right. If I put magic into what I'm nurturing, then when I grow that seed, it'll become more pleasantly placed and not be evil. Oh, oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm the one you need. Sounded sign. Sounded signs, you made it clear in my mind. I'll take it for a while. You'll say that I can't just drive you away, but I'll find it to still be the same. Here you lay and say, did I choose to remain? Or were you finding there's only one way to take it the same? When I'm not hiding, I'll think for my own self. When I'm not being quiet, I'll say I couldn't tell you the truth. Unless it's not the same, then what would I interview? If it's not my field place, then my witness's face. Cause I know it's not true. Unless you believe that today I planted a seed. It embraced itself unseen, and I witnessed myself be. But it's not the truth, cause Jesus made me believe, and I found. Number one, Jesus reconciles to himself. Firstly, he makes himself not witnessed. As for yourself not witnessing Jesus, you only witness yourself to be seated. At the same time, one will witness both angles of Jesus placing himself before the hour, as one might be the seeding in the flower, what the flower makes out of itself to be witnessed. But when the flower goes through worship and praise level of a certain reality, then if it's got any evil seedings in it, it'll become evil and moralate over all creations and take over everyone at the same time that no one will lure itself out of its twisting station. Because remember, he's not the normal head. He's a flower. So as the flower grows and the fruit becomes, if there's any evil seedings in it, then the fruit will be evil and it will take over the whole world. That's why Jesus nurtures the whole way to try and get rid of that sickness and that evil. Because if there's any evil there, the moment the fruit grows, then bang, it's going to take over the whole world. Yeah. Okay. As you can say, it's not the same, but still it's not related. When you're working with the beast, you gotta make it a shade. You gotta say it's not the same, unless we try to relate. So what would you name if the truth can't be saved? Cause it's never true to take it to the root. But I believe that I found out it's only my name that you made me see for sure that there's no way to see. If I'm not bound to believe, then right now I'm boosted up and I think I've made it see. But I can't be shade, cause maybe it's that day that I judge my page and I find out that there's only one way. For yeah, you know it's right, eventually evil will reside. Take over the whole car and change all the wheels, the tire and bracelets, fix everything bloody up so we can go on in the future. Otherwise, it might just be no good, you know? Oh, so he's making an evil one. Yeah, darkness rules over the world. Darkness will always rule over the world, you know? He banished the darkness from the light, and then he made out of the light the day, and called it the day. Then the light hid from the night. The light hid from the darkness, and he called that night. So when darkness comes into the world, it'll take the day and the night to fix the tablet. Oh, so behind this planter box, we could see in ourselves. And no names ever been made to be seasoned. But still we take ourselves for not the seen, that anyone can make out of themselves, to be witnessed. As we think for what we mean, then we couldn't take ourselves in reality. That's right, so that's the way. Didn't play evil with the controller, I guess you'd say, kids. So if you were more nurturers, then you understand a bit better. Now, if you weren't just magical, and builders, and healers, and heroes. Yep. Yeah, fundamental explanation there, mate. Yeah, truly. Well, maybe that's what we're all preparing for. They'll finish the 12 archetypes so that when the flower comes, we'll know how to harness it properly to make a better seat out there and a better frame of network. Better frame of work, yeah. But how long since the flower's been here? Well, yeah, the flower grows the fruit, then the flowers sort of die, and then next season the flowers grow again. Well, the tree plants the flower. As it's always been the tree. Then the tree becomes the flower to crop the fruit. Once the fruit is made, then it leaves the tree. And the flower dies. And the tree becomes once again the tree. Right. And that fruit becomes the soil to the tree. and nutrients what the dream would be perceived as or perceived in. Okay. Okay then, tablet maker. So I look at the name caliber to be the saucepan and the starch, you know? Which obedient nature serves for itself. It's within the tree, isn't it, mate? The stars are on the tree and that the caliber's up there. That's right. So the tree calibrates the names for everyone. You know, blows the scene in. That's his name. That's where I need him to be going. You know, that's where he's looking like he's going. Tree's always looking in like this. Yep. Yep. Looks at everyone the same day that they're all birthed because they're all born the 11th of the 1st. Yep. Actually, he takes February and March off and goes, that closes the site down for 2 months. Knows when everyone's actually going to be birthed, the dates that they're arriving, then sees what their position is and the likeliness of where they're featuring themselves. Yep. Tracks their last life cycle that they have to feature, and also come into reconciliation with to match up at the perfect alignment where they should be feeded into positions of likeness and all the takings that they've ever made it to meet with and meet in the sections that they made out to be believed in. Yep. But still, we can't say to ourselves that no one's ever been here. We can't find for ourselves that there's not a thing that hasn't been. Had ourselves not been, we're going to find in ourselves that no such thing has ever been. Unless ourselves couldn't be seen. What would we find for ourselves? If we've never taken ourselves in reality, to picture in our own right, what we find within the mentioning places, what we actually make. About seeing ourselves, we can never see within ourselves. There's never been a seated shape and seated position, or someone to take a likeness, what we find within ourselves, to be seating with. But as we look up into the future, and as that tree, within its nature, uses the name caliber, he could lock one person entirely down. Give him a name superior on the caliber. Gives him a name superior. Yep. And then seasons within him, superior reactioner. And the reactioner comes straight out from his waistline, takes one of his arms, and comes out and is straight in front of his throat, you know. So when that person is talking, hi, hello, I am superior. The snake, as you can see there, is saying to the world, this bloke's a cockhead, you need to take everything from him. At the same time, when that bloke feeds it back, and the snake's hissing when people are talking to superior, the snake's just, and he then hears, oh, they're going to lock me up, take me to jail, they're doing all this evil shit to me, and they're getting everything from me, and it's not going to look good in the end. But that tree might actually love superior, because he's not just a hero, it's a superhero. So that would all happen in the name caliber as well, you know? Yep. Within the branching and network of the tree line. Fuck yeah. I know. I think you done the head the wrong way, mate. I might have. I drew it when I was... Yeah, this is Merritt here. That's actually on this side over here. Hey, that doesn't look right then. That's confusing. Oh, that's right. That's his hair at the back there. That's his hair sticking out the back, you know. That's his eye. That's his nose, and that's his mouth. Yep. And he always knows, like, you can see it in him himself. His left shoulder's always down a bit to his right. No, it's the other way, mate. Normally his right shoulder's down. Just make my sliver and slide around, you know. I've done that work on his back and stuff. Don't you love that, mate? 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 And basically that little bloody snake is just there because he's hungry, you know? Such a thing that we've amazed ourselves to see. But it's not true. Not true, mate. Yeah. Cain, silent, not. Then it's just true. Then it's just two truths. So the not is no longer, and what remains but this truth. Separated from abuse, silenced at the scene, and taken from the report. Now I'm trying to save this day today especially, because I love talking about that dimension stuff. You know, the sun that's here in this dimension, that's a yellow sun, you know. The next sun in the next dimension might be a different colour. A colour that's not in this atmosphere, you know. So in this rainbow it's yellow, to resemble that the sun shines in the night, blinded yellow. So the sun there in space, blue yellow sun, flies through the dark night and comes into the world as yellow shine. But really it's red, shining down through amber, which amber is the daytime. When it sets, it's amber because that's daytime. And then shines to light blue as amber rises. And when it hits night, then yellow shines in. But it's a yellow revealing of the coat, because stars resemble themselves to shine in a backdrop of blue and white within this dimension. But in the next dimension, the Holy Spirit there could shine a different colour sun, a colour that's not known to us here. How could it just make up another colour? How could these colours be seeded? Like the bloke inside the knight's head who's been locked up in jail. Now the knight's riding, he turns the corner, he looks at the grass and it's green. Now that knight might never have seen green grass and just says that it's green. Then everyone looks at the grass, you know, him inside the knight's head, looks at the grass and it's painted green. Just because his mind makes up a distinguishment between the blue pavers that he already witnessed and the green colour of the grass. So I like that green grass. Then he notes on the blue pavers that he wasn't witness to talk about. Oh yeah, I like those pavers as well, but that one there's a different colour blue. Because the knight wrote, and that paver is dipped down in the seeding of all paver line. Oh. That's how easy it'd be just to make up a new colour. Oh, right. Because there'd be a new dimensional plane. So in this one, there's so many dimensions where it shines yellow. The next one has one more dimension. Minus the dimension of liner. So yellow can't skip through that dimension because yellow's in this dimension. And this one has one extra line of dimension to shine a different brighter. Okay. So the sun here in this one, the sun here in that one, the sun here in all creations. Leading to where he's found in a memory. Yep. Which is the beginning of where he is here today in this dimension. That is now in all of the dimensions at the same time. To be found in a memory that he was here in the middle, where it's made to be believed. Then he leaves from here, goes up there, leaves from here, goes up there, leaves from all dimensions, and goes up there. So it comes around that he was here. And then all line goes to this dimension, the line just goes then up and rotates around for the next line. Like having increments on a circle, you know? There's a circle with increment lines. But no two line is straight, you know? Yeah. So at the very centre of the page, you think you draw it straight, wouldn't you? to draw it off crooked. But then you can turn it and find it never becomes straight. Oh, shit. So the next one, would you draw it straight? And it become like a notch. Oh, yeah. That you can believe when we draw the next one, we're going to draw it straight. And that's 3 notches that all end up at the same point. So it's like, that is 1 notch, 2 notch, and 3 notch. Yep. Now you draw the next one. And where would it go? I'd say straight up, but at the same time I'd be clear. So if I was remembering myself to be seated here, and I found within myself that I wasn't just opened, then I'd make myself be seen by what I'd witnessed. Now a circle with independent notches. So you mark on the circle, you mark on a string line, separations of 1 inch. Then you make that string line into a circle, and all those inches will be 1 inch apart on the circumference of the circle, yeah. But the lines going in would never match to itself. Yes, those 3 seated points don't meet at the same interval, do they? Now that's where it sparks out from the difference. The distance that one would make on the next spectacle is straight up, which matches the second notch. And then leads the tower out. That one should have been straight. It is straight. And the next one, to the reverter option of taking seated sign out. As you turn it, they'll point to the exact same circumference. Of the outlining circle. A bit wavy. That one's down a touch, one is an up and up. One starts off. Yep. But as we make not the potential, then we find no limits to the circumference that hasn't been met by itself when it's mitered into the difference. The one date can't be dated. So if we find the line of dimension, it's not a line of dimension, that's what I mean. One dimension is drawn as a spark. Within one dimension, many lines of dimension, such as the rainbow being brightened by a different shining. Now the next dimension would be a fight. And within that dimension, there's extra line of dimension, so that it's not the same dimension. Right. You can see that this one can fit into this one, but this one can't fit into this one. Yep. And still, you'd see the yellow of this one occurring in this one, but in this one, you wouldn't see the colour of what the sun would be. Now, if it was a line of dimension, it means you could cross through to the next dimension while you're actually here. Yeah. So you wouldn't say a line of dimension like something capable. Something capable of referring that it's a line. No 1 dimension, 2 dimension, 3 dimension, 4 dimension, 5 dimension. As you're travelling along each dimension, you get up the scale as you go into the next dimension. But that means that within this dimension, this one can already be seen. And within this dimension, this one can be already known. If I'm starting at this one, then how can I ever know this dimension if I hadn't been to this dimension? And if I hadn't been to this dimension, then could I see from this dimension that this dimension has to be? Right. Now here I know that I'm in a dimension. Yeah. And because I'm in a dimension, I can fathom that there's another dimension. But I know myself that in this dimension, I'm unknowing of what this dimension is. But when I'm in this dimension, I'll be knowing of a different dimensional line of what this dimension is shy with, because it's the sun shining bright yellow. Whereas this one has an extra line to show a different shining. So when I'm in this one, my body automatically pre-senses that I'm in a different realm now, different dimension. And the mind would automatically trickle over and bang would be in that seated place. So as you go up different dimensions in creativity of the one roster cycle of creation, each dimension has more line to shine a brighter star. To make it not the same day, a different working weight. Okay. The fact is that if we're here communicating to each other, then we're all in the same dimension. Yep. Now we forgot about a little recipient there. Yeah, so the circle, the first dimension, then it travels around. From dimension to dimension to dimension to dimension to dimension to dimension to dimension until we find it here, which is the memory of him being found, to be coming in the beginning where each dimension is actually made. And when the dimensional line goes up, so from this dimension we go to the next dimension. Once we've gone up to the next dimension, because he's in every dimension at the same time. He's in this one, that 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 one. It comes right around to the memory of where he's found to be making life, and made in the beginning was he. Once he's left everyone, boom. He goes up from this one to there, up from that one to there, up from that one to there. Comes a whole new line. That line's just a new curvature. Yeah. and then boom. Right. So the wheel here is in this dimension, turns, and bang, we've gone up dimension. And so the first one is not the asking of how is there the first one. It's that he was here in the beginning, where in the next dimension, he's there in the beginning, and the next dimension he's there in the beginning, 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 and then the next dimension he's there in the beginning. Yep. And that's where he was here in the first one. Oh, shit. And then it's just gone up everyone from every dimension to the next dimension. All at once. All at once. Well, that's why this sun is seen to be brighter than signs, but yellow indeed. In the next dimension, the extra dimensional line there would shine a different brightness of the sun. Yeah, but it's the one sun that's in every dimension still. But it's one light. One light, yeah. Oh, shit. And the Holy Spirit is that founder that brings the light out. You know, brings the light out, takes it by the side, and then shines the light out. So when there's one extra dimensional line, then we've seen a different brighter star shine in the next dimension. But there's not just one extra dimensional line. No, it's the next dimension. There'll be more dimensional lines. Ah, shit, in pleasant place and company of ourselves. Seated frames and talks that can't be made. Shit, it's not just the face. That lurks around. Yeah, well, the Holy Spirit would know more about this than anyone would. Shit. I remember you still got about 2,000 years to go here. So he's already taken off, you know? Yep, that's right. I've already left out here. I've already left out here, mate. What do you mean? Takes 2,000 years for me to lift up from this dimension to there. Yep. As I'm lifting up from here, in that dimension to there. From this one 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 to there. And from this one to there. Yep. And then this one is where a new child would come into, if it's actually the first one that we're in here today. But you might be at this one. Yep. But it's still being seen to be at this one. Because all intervals point to the same center of the lining within the spiral of the image of the wheel. Okay. Jesus, don't you tell me I'm being rude. What are you now, Jesus? Are you the life? Or was this dimension about rising into being Jesus? There's always good and bad, Jesus, isn't there? They're not really good and bad. But one will call the other one out. One would say to the other one, you're out. And that's the person in the middle who's going, whoa, whoa. Don't you tell me I can't be rude. If I have to be rude, I'll be rude. And don't you think that I was pointing at you? How can I be pointing at you when I can't really locate where you are? You know, you're Jesus Christ and Jesus Christ, Jesus Christ and Christ Jesus. And I'm going, Jesus, 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 Jesus. Then you make him out, and you say to him that he's out. So that one takes off. This one then says, I'm out. And they're both gone and separate from me. And I'm laying there just ridden. And I'm going, they told me not to point at them, but now they're not even here, and I'm trying to point them out to everyone, but no one can see that they're here. And I'm going, shit, everyone just sees that I'm Jesus. But I'm telling the world that Jesus is when you become a spiritual bloody orb and you travel around and help people do such things as witnessing themselves. And at the same time, I can't just find it myself if it's not real enough. But I learnt back not to that seat. I'm challenged today, mate. Daddy, So the intervals would all be that way. Why? When the wheel rolls. When the wheel rolls. So here, like that. That means this one is like that. So when it rotates. So how can that dimension be out there when its face is to be inside the lure? So that one's like that. And when it rotates, it's now like that. There, so that one there has to be like that. So they're only one way. That's why it all goes up in time to find itself in the same line of a dimensional plate to be made. The bearing cedar of a one dimension places within itself. Now I don't want to open this one because I don't really know what's in it. But still, yeah, it might be scary. But still, I'll find out if I don't make myself seen. Because I'm not real enough unless I think I can't be made. But as I measure myself, then still today, I have been fathomed. I don't take out what it is. So I might not see myself without myself not being seen. And as I measure myself, then I know that today can't be made unless I'm not making myself. And as I look to myself, then I take myself to the place that I could say, well, letting that one out, will that be where the seed plants and establishes a tree? Or the wind kicks off and establishes a net bubble framework, such as the heads of all the trees, that one can see through and witness himself not being seen by such a creature as Jesus. Because let's say that when it opens, out comes the flower. And the fruit is what falls. It becomes one mirrored dimension of a realm of significant blue. But all realms would have the same blue, but a different brightness of sun, so it wouldn't be the same blue. That's why we see many planets with different colours also. But in our solar system, it's the same sun. Show that conceptual reality of interdimensional space. Not interdimensional space. Remember, the space we have around us today is very limited. I'm in a room here, and it's tiny compared to what we used to have in the kingdom, you know. Back in the old days, we used to walk between trees. It was all wide open, you know. These days, there's a wall right there and a wall right there. I'm on the couch, you know, back in the old days when we were just standing up all the time, you know, there's nowhere to really lay down. Everything was still damp. And now, off the interval, you find one arranged measure of fruit. Like one piece of orange. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. All the intervals of dimension that mark themselves as seeded creations. Until this one opens up. Nah. A circle is a circle no matter what. Yep. It doesn't matter how big the circle is. There's only so much dimension that can fit in within its intervaling. There's only so much dimension that can fit within its surrounding. So you mark one there and you mark one straight next to it. Yep. One seeded leaded line. One seeded leaded line. Yep, so there's only one dimension that you can frame within any position of light. Yeah, till the sun might rise. And that's why that memory is there, because you don't look back past if this is the first one or when's the first one, because the memory is there seated for him to be in everyone. Ah, shit, that's intercomplexation, mate. That's a hard career. That's a hard career, my mate. Now let's say at the same time, that images can't always be made. Like first and fascinations that no one can take or say, or they haven't saved today. But still, I do believe that no things can't be made without my name being taken. And so when your beliefs are just standards such as, oh, I believe it's not true. You don't have to say what you believe about it, you know? Yeah. The colour pink, I believe it's not true. But if I look at the colour pink, I see it's revealing within itself that it's not the same sound area of another colour that I might find to be pinkish. But when I rest within the idea that it's not pink, then I don't believe that it's pink. And I can say, yeah, it's not true that it ain't pink, but being not pink doesn't make it not true. It is still the light that I've seen to resonate as the shining armour of a pink light. And it might find within me one day that that pink, yeah, it might not be true, but still it is the truth. Right. Right, 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 right. Right is tight. Right is tight. Right is tight. So I believe the first interval that I drew was that way, and it's never straight within the circle frame. Because he's already rised, which makes it take us to the next dimension. But yeah, there's still 2,000 years left in this dimension before everyone's cleared of their judgments and all have been sanctioned as ordered, as routine in the chaos that made us happen to make it ourselves. Okay. 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 We shall find out in that creation. So once it's revealed that the whole world was to become Jesus, then no longer can they become Jesus. That's right, but they'll still go to the next dimension. Because where it is made, it is founded. To be fortunate that beforehand you could walk into such an option. But once it's made, then that option ceased. And you walk out in discovering when Jesus will be. Okay. 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 And that's just what I am about becoming Jesus. But still, it's not really true if it hasn't been found by anyone. And some days you do learn. You do learn that in losing a day, it founds within the resignation for a different sight to be shined. And maybe this day, or this dream place, is about the ghost losing its seat to the holy accompanist, for it takes in his name the favour of the sin, and adopts in the world a culture of hidden tribal unions and triviologies that trip everyone out with the murderous scenes. And everyone's deluded from the big picture because they can't make a clear sight. Is it God or is it someone within the world? And then for the next 2,000 years, everyone is cleansed from the sins and becomes in the routine order. And then bang, to the next dimension. Because as I say, then I learn something new about time every day of my life. So you, the Holy Ghost, the Holy Spirit, witnessing yourself in this sign and the sun in this life. Yep, I learn here that the ghost loses the house. You know, and someone takes over. And everyone wakes up to it slowly. Oh, yep. He's still the owner of the house though, but he just lost it. It's still his mortgage done lease. He's still paying for it. Yep. Everyone comes cleansed at the end to the next dimension. And right now I'm witnessing myself see what I'm seeing there. Then I learn something new about time every time. That yeah, sometimes you can lose out. Other times you can find out. And within finding out, you can learn why you haven't had out. But when you don't have it out, then you make out like it's not made to be. Then you find out that you found out how. And when you find out how, you learn for the reason that no one could say it wasn't for why, but it was made to be set in the sign that no one could take it, to be opened as not out. And that's one interdimensional portaling of the knot size, which in the knot keeping, one knot must beat. Knot, 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 bound. Right. Then becomes bound. A certain knot. And then it's no longer a knot. It's now something to be found. Right. That's basically life of education and survival patterns and sequences of the mind is marvellously attractive to someone like this, mate. Oh, crap, mate. Crap, mate. But if he could, would it be found out? You can't do it again. Found out. Nope. Yeah. Would it be found out? No, that looks like the next finger. Yeah, so as you can see in that, that looks like the fingernail of that one. Yeah. Could be standing straight up. Yeah. So within that image there, I contain within myself that I see the reservation of Dimensional Lane.
right? Because you can see a difference in dividend of light shining across the over estate. And I might find in myself what dimensioning places might make. But still, if I can't see to what I mean, then what's the alluring sake? What I make in my intervals of realization to navigate my portaling for the interdimensional line, for the interdimensional portal, for the interdimensional corridor, for the interdimensional, as I said, for interdimensional what? It's not interdimensional. One dimension is one dimension of sign. The next dimension is a bigger sign that all must go into blind. For you haven't been there until the beginning where it's made. That's when I learned something new about time. That's always been a place for me to meet until I find out why. Then I won't make it to be seen. I haven't been seen. But still, I find out why. I can tell myself that I won't be seen unless I can't be seen. When I am seen, then I know that I will be seen. And when I haven't been seen, then I could say to myself, was it not that I was seen? Or was it that I couldn't show myself that no one hadn't seen? For when I seen, then the world will tell themselves, we haven't seen. And when they haven't seen, then only it takes one to see. But for I myself not seeing myself, so I can't be seen by myself, then myself can say that that one hasn't seen. But we know that we have seen. And when he has seen himself, then they'll say within him not seeing, that we hadn't seen, and within him seeing, that we can't see. Then in us he has made what he has seen for us to reveal at the time we deed. Roger Duck then. And it's like that because nature is chaos. But everything is calibrated in the same star complex. All nature's revealings. So within the star grid, all the stars, yeah, all the compasses, knots and rotations. Basically something like that. Yep. The caliber to shift everyone into gear and routine and roster, so that by the end of the 2,000 years, we're all shaped, healed, and cleansed, and there's no evil or sinning action. Because everyone comes to find out that we're all the one Son, and that's because all those that made themselves be a picture of Jesus had found upon themselves that they are finding themselves to be frowning upon the seats of their own witness, whereas Jesus would worship everyone's sins and at the same time worship his own sin, to find out in them, was it we that had sinned as one, or was it you that hadn't sinned for none, other than where I had sinned and you showed me your sins? And I said, brother, they ain't your sins, they're only the sins that I didn't make, that you found within me that I hadn't sinned, because you couldn't see where I had laid. And at the same time I witnessed my sin to be only the name that I took to be me. But then you believed me not to be seen, as I witnessed you to not have sinned. Then I found within you that, yeah, shit, you're Jesus and you're the Son. As for I, you might say the same. But for me to make myself believe, when I thought I was Jesus, and I turned and ran away, I found upon my seat that I was showing sin, and the world became conquered by my feet. And I was the one that released and revealed the devil in the signing. I became into the world all the feedings of my own feeds, and the devil rose in temptation. And I found then myself to be revealing in all things, that showed within me that no one had sinned, beside myself, who found within myself that if I am Jesus, then everyone must be the same. So it's not my sin to make, unless I conquer my feet. Then the devil would never have raised out of me, and became sinning in my world. Yeah. Because if Jesus is free from sin, then everyone is free from sin. Oh wow. Wow, man. Right. And as we like ourselves, we can say not everything is revealed. It's the perfect date that one can match. I like this sound. I'll still witness it on that day. And before I talk to thee, you'll say to me that yet I have been heard, but I'm not quite sure if I haven't been seen. But for me, learning this life, that house can be returned to the feet of wicked before the day that the world returns to themselves and becomes made to believe in themselves, and then that which ruled in the world and held the house when the ghost lost the revealing of the house would say to themselves, ah shit, we've been beat. And that's when the house would always maintain itself as not mine, for the house that I see is this whole house of interdimensions. And I know that just in this revelation, I'm learning something about time. Yep. That's why I still say that I don't know what's in there, but I don't want to let that out. Oh, shit. That's pretty rare. That's pretty rare. And at the same time, I can witness for myself that because I've learnt here today that it's not my house within this line of time, then within the world of my house, I've found out that it's not mine. Yep. But that means that within this world, someone had to take on the house, make it like it's theirs. Yep. Just for I to see that there's something over me. Yep. And that's where that devil side tempting everyone, that actually like advocate as the devil, tempting everyone to sin. Yep. And then they think they actually have sinned, and that's before they even think themselves to be Jesus, which is a different way of sinning. Yeah, okay, I've established that routine, mate. Yep, I got that. That's pretty locked down. And as I thought for myself, there's still not this day that I could find it. For I don't believe in such a thing to be made, till my miracles couldn't be seen. I haven't witnessed such a thing yet, to be taken out from me. But still, as I look onto it, then I could say everything seems to appear in the distance, without itself being noted. No scene couldn't be matched. If only I'm not lurking around, then I'll might myself and tempt myself to be seen. But I reveal not a thing if I don't make it mean, especially to anything, without myself as noted. For I'm not revealing a thing if I can't be noted to be seen. And if I'm not seen, then what would I not say I hadn't seen? If I did see, then what could I show? And if I had showed, then would I say to myself, it's not for me to show. Nah, it's not for me to say, man. It's not for me to say, man. But yeah, you'll keep me from it. And you'll try to act like it's not mine. Then you'll say to me, it's not yours to show. And then you have to show for yourself. It's not mine to say. And not showing for myself, it's saying that I'm not the one to be showing it. But really, I can't say. But yeah, I can see it and reveal it in me, as you witness me not to be seen by you, as I witness myself not to be seen by you. But you're saying that we can't see you. Yeah, you can't witness me, but I've seen what I've seen. Yep. So you see me not being seen by you, and you're telling me that, yeah, you've seen me. But I'm not one showing. I'm one who can't say. So that means what you've actually seen is now witnessed within themselves. To be modelling the mind to one-dimensional line bigger than this dimensional line. Right, yep. That's what I learned in time. That the next dimension, more lines of chaos and strings of theories, as developed in words and sentences, structured behind beliefs. Right, okay. Then you walk up to the beat. And you get there, and you sort of roll back down to your feet. So that means every dimension has to go up like that. Well, that's not there then, yep. So that's there then. So they all go around at once. And then we come back to the place that's when you find the memory of one already being, where it was made in the beginning. It's consoling and temptation, isn't it? As revealed by us honestly here today. Now witness for your own safety, what one sign can make. Before there's revelation, you won't tempt yourself in sign. Remember, evil can't be mated, and there's no way to lurk around it. For I haven't separated myself from any seated scene, so I haven't sighted any scene. For I can't make myself believe, unless I'm not natured to be believed. But when I work around a thing, then I find within myself there's no perfect seed for me to be matched with, unless I take back what I made. And on that day, well, yeah, I hadn't yet matched it, so I couldn't lurk around such a thing. But hey, it's not for me to be believed. It's only for you to say that I can't be believed. But already when I've witnessed what I've seen, then I know it's for your beliefs, that you'll structure within me what you show me that you have to say. That you're a CUNTA. But I've already seen that. So it's not for me to say. Oh, such a thing, mate. Bloody mate. And without myself being, well, yeah, I can't die twice. Oh. To the seed that made the developing flower imprint. I can't die once again. But within the one flower is all that. Of course, my friends, the flower. Guess seats are filled one day. Remember, it's just a seeded thing that no one can take. Well, they haven't found to be made. But still, wait, what? You mean everything works out for good in the end? Why were we doing anything in the world? To make it bad for other people. It's not going to be good for ourselves if it's not good for other people. That's quite clear. Was the first man doing something good? Or was he just doing what he had to do? And at the same time, did someone say, hey, that's not good what you've done? Why not? Because I wouldn't do it that way. But geez, you come up all right. I'm doing it that way these days. Oh, shit. Yeah. It's like that way. It's found as well, eh? Yeah. Fuck yeah. That's way simpler. Ain't it? Yeah. You're mad, painter, son. Remember, ain't you CUNTs? Or sirens. So run trees. Well, I'm endeavoured to be seated by that scene, mate. You've definitely scaled my temperature. You've showed me a book about Martins, mate, and revealed in your own self the matching of it. You don't want to do it. You don't want to do it. You don't want to do it, mate. Trust me, you don't want to do it. You'll work around it, and you'll always knock yourself on this bloody box here. And it just won't pop open, you know? Because that's the sun. Oh, shit. Now, that's a different sun, isn't it? It's to the suns that shine different colours. Maybe, mate. But still, I haven't witnessed it quite yet. Because I say I'm not prepared. But now can my word be counted if I've been using stuff? And that sort of shows the way. That like I can't be seen, and I don't have to show what I haven't seen, then I can tell you it's not mine to say. Unless it's up to you guys to judge me. That yes, we can't see you, because we still say you're lame. Yeah, but it's not me to show myself as lame. For I'm not here to show, and I can't say. Because when you don't have a name, it's not yours to take praise. You think about, oh, that might be lame, but you only gotta be late. Now I think about this name, and I think about this place. I think about this plate, and I think about one to take. But I can't say it, can't tell it, can't touch it, can't taste it. Can't even fathom up that it might be seated in my reality. Now it might not be there, couldn't be here, might be where, but when will it be? Now if it's where that'll be and how that it's gotta be, then I'll find why it hasn't been. Till I think about what will it be if it's not when that I need it to be. Because where that it's gotta be only finds me when I'm looking at who is it gonna be. Then I think about which would it be. Then I remember, hey, I can't say, because I've never been named. That's where you would have been named by nature. And you'd interfere with everything that you've been noted to take on. Because you're around some sort of kingdom or empire that fits its own moral and worldly order to try to shift everyone into their routine, which doesn't work out for anything. Yep. And as a young child, you would have had signs being witnessed. You know what nature had you fitted for. And you would have been blind to them. Because your mum was saying, this is what we do, love. You know, this is how we do it. You know, read these books. And every night, read these books. Yep. Go down there, do this stuff. Yep. Quiet the whole time. Yep, that's right. But the signs would have still been there to try to lead you into what nature wanted you to do. You know, kill your mum. You are the devil, mate. You are the devil, mate. Oh, see, that expensive line right there. He had an extra finger then, didn't he? Fuck you, hell. Fucking hell, mate. Fucking hell, mate. Fucking hell, mate. Oh, shit, mate. Oh, bloody hell, mate. So, like how you might not see on my hand, when I do that showing, I thought this finger was the thumb. Yeah. But I see what I'm seeing. They say, there's interdimensional reservation within the line or the order of interdimensions. Thanks for watching. Hope you might learn or lean towards something being seen. But now I've learnt for myself, well, this map might be equated to saying that I know it's not my house. But it's a building. No. An elevation of properties.